It's CashColorCannabis, a high level of conversation at livehip-hop-daily.tv, and this episode is sponsored by TrueLeave. If you're a Georgia medical card holder searching for good quality products, stop by TrueLeave. Flower, vapes, edibles, topicals, concentrates, tinctures, and more. Visit one of their 5 locations in Georgia and find what fits for you today. Click the link in the caption of when this podcast goes live and find a store local to you. All right, without further ado, man, I'm back in the saddle. I got a guest with me. The crowd feels like an old school vibe of CashColorCannabis, man. I got my Canna brothers in the building. Just feel like a good vibe, and I got my good Canna sister Jess with me today, man. Jess, what up? Jess gonna dap a nigga
shit.
up. You see this? That was smooth as hell.
I mean, you know, I'm okay with it.
You must know I've known Jess for a minute now, man. I feel like, yeah, you definitely family at this point.
It feels like it. I was just telling him, I was like, all my Canna brothers up in here. I'm like, we done rocked in one way or another. Even Mr. Joe over there on the camera, like,
yo, it's
it
crazy.
Feels good.
I was listening to the last time you was on the podcast, and I was joking with you in the back. Last time you was here, we was talking about how easy it is to draw Joe.
You were a good sport too, but I remember that, and that was so funny. Like, that's a compliment, I believe.
It is. He's not complicated look.
Yeah.
It's just your average
Look
Joe.
at that.
But like I said, I got my girl Jess in here, man. And Jess, if y'all don't know, is a jack of all trades. She's a marketing guru. She's an entrepreneur. And she has an amazing event that she allowed CashColorCannabis to be partnered with, which is Elevated Food and Wine Fest. And we're going to get into all the details of that tonight.
Yay.
Yeah, so first off, for those who don't know for some odd reason, please introduce yourself and tell us what all the things you do.
Well, my name is Jessica, a.k.a. Professor Cannabis. I've been in the community for a while now. I mean, of course, I've always been an avid cannabis user and supporter, but as far as being in this business space of cannabis, it's been about 4 or 5 years now. I started off with a smoke shop for about 2.5 years, and then I pivoted into doing cannabis events. So we're working to destigmatize. We elevate, educate, and entertain.
Yeah, man. And she definitely does a good job of that. And shout to you. And when I say entrepreneur, the shop she was mentioning, Sizzling Smoke Shop, was a staple. Man, we used to love stopping by the shop.
It was a moment.
Yeah, it was a real moment, man. She had the back part of it.
The Garden Lounge. Shout out to the Garden Lounge.
Yeah, it was in the middle of West End. Like it was a perfect vibe for what it was, man. And you know, nowadays, but you don't do the store no more. Now you have the event. But I feel like that in a way, you not doing the store no more kind of led to where you actually started the event.
Most definitely, because I mean, when you dream of something, it always looks one way, but then the reality of it just, and I like to enjoy things. I feel like I left the corporate world to pursue my own goals, and I want to enjoy it. You know, I was miserable in corporate, so when I did the shop, I found myself having to work in there a lot more. It's hard to keep employees, and then employees are just going to be employees. Yeah. And I live very, very far away from the shop, so I just stopped enjoying it. And so I just had to figure out what I needed to do next. And that was a big transition period for me. You know, just changing my identity from Professor Cannabis of the smoke shop to Professor Cannabis, or, you know, just figuring out my place in this cannabis world. Yeah. And so when I came up with the Elevated Food and Wine Festival, it really was rooted in all of the different businesses that I work with while I was at the smoke shop. And then it opened my eyes to how many people actually prefer to use edibles as opposed to smoking. Yeah. And I didn't even realize that market was that big. And so I had already done like a little brunch and bake series before I opened the shop, where it was like a instructional cooking class. And it was like a little lounge, and I had like 5 vendors back there where people could go, you know, outside of the class. So it was nice. And so that just kind of piggybacked on that whole idea, and I just blew it up 10 times more.
Yeah, and you did a great job, because I had a chance to go to the first Elevated Food and Wine Fest. Me and my wife pulled up, and she's a shopper. She went and bought everything.
Hey!
And you know what I love my wife about that? She went from like vendor to vendor, like, what you got? You know what I'm saying? But it was really a dope vibe. You did it at, what was it? Was it Zaza Express or Zaza
It was over there off of Piedmont Road.
Piedmont Road. Yeah, it was a dope space that you did it then. And I saw the vision then. Like, you definitely had a nice little sprawling area, that the advocacy group going on. But it was definitely camaraderie, and it showed a lot about the community itself and how the community of in the city is growing. Like again, not everything is about how much weed we can just buy. Like
Right.
I was watching people consume, having good conversation with weed vendors clearly, but the edibles, the wine, you know what I'm saying? Like the things like that I'm watching it evolve, and I like that.
Well, I mean, I try to make events not just, and there's nothing wrong with a pop up. I think vendor marketplaces are a great opportunity for people
Of course.
who aren't able to get in other venues. But when I do events, it's more so about the experience, and I want people to always to walk away taking something with them
Yeah.
and coming to a space that they might not normally go to educational conferences or some of the places that we go to, but they're going to go to like a pop-up or something that's a little bit more leisurely. So if I bring them into a place where they feel comfortable, and then I give them droplets, tidbits of education or workshops where they learn how to better use cannabis in relation to their body or their business, then I feel accomplished because they walk away with that, and they had a good time, because we some stoners too.
Yeah, and it fit kind of the. I feel like I not even feel. I know for a fact I'm growing as a consumer. You know what I mean? And there was a time when I could sit in a pop up for days. You know what I'm saying? Hours at least. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of vibing. And I can't do that so much no more. You know what I mean? Like I really got to have a lot of fun to be there longer than 20 minutes.
I get bored.
Yeah, because I get bored real quick. Like I need other stuff going on. So an event like yours is definitely tailored towards somebody like myself whose tastes are kind of evolving in a little bit, where it's just I can do more than just walk around and smoke.
And I think,
And again, no disrespect to pop-ups. I actually still love going to pop-ups.
Period.
It's just me. I know me.
but I think also it's a bias with us because we know everybody that
True.
we can get whatever we need from. It's not like as big of a deal because half the people in there I know anyway, you know what I'm saying, or I can call or whatever. So I think it's more of a novelty to people who don't have access to that type of product, and we're just a little bit more spoiled because we're in it and around it. So it's a place for everything. But
Yeah, and you put on a good pop-up your damn self, though, the cannabis.
Hey, stop playing with
You put up
me.
a good pop-up your damn self, because you was at Marty Missile out the last joint.
yes, that was fun.
Yeah.
I love that one right there. He came all the way out from the Bay Area. Shout out Marty Grimes with the Marty Missile.
But he smoked out the way, and I didn't even get a chance to go. And I told you at the last minute, I realized it was around the corner from the house. Like I was just being lazy. I was like, I really could have pulled up.
I love doing events in downtown Atlanta is just where it's at. Like
You
when
got a lot of space too out there. There's a lot of venue spaces. That
it
people don't use.
is, and they're open to it. And I feel like if you come to them respectfully, responsibly, because people want to protect their investment, but they're usually open to it. If you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
Correct. Well, like I was mentioning, this is about primarily Elevated Food and Wine Fest, and you have a new one coming up July 6th.
July 6th.
That we get to be part of, man. Talk to us about what the plans for this year, because last year was definitely a vibe, but I feel like this year it's expanding out a little bit.
It is. We definitely. So we moved to Atlantucky Brewing. We have the whole venue. We booked the whole venue out. We're gonna have the food trucks out in the middle of the street. APD gonna be blacking out the street for us because we VIP over there. I mean, of course, we added more workshops. We had the puff and paint last year, but this year we added infused wine making workshops. Shout out to Divine Libations. We're doing a infused charcuterie workshop. Shout out to Epic Flavors and Charcuterie Club.
Shout out to pronunciation.
Charcuterie. I'm a girl. I've had a chance to say charcuterie a lot. But yeah, and then we also have a medical card sign up. We're going to have Dr. Yolanda Henderson's going to be there with the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science. Oh, I got that right. Please give me a cookie.
Hey.
Because I mess it up every time. Shout out to Dr. Yolanda. She was one of my speakers last year. She did a phenomenal job. And we also have our sponsors. Levo is sponsoring us again.
Okay.
They sponsored our infusion competition amongst the chefs of the festival.
Yeah.
We have Fine Fettle coming on board, so they're going to be one of our sponsors too. They're going to be sponsoring one of our workshops. So it's going to be a lot to do, a lot to see, a lot to take away. Come there all day, stay all day.
I didn't know y'all was doing sign-ups for medical cards, though, because that's actually something I need to do. And I saw some of the prices they be charging. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's everybody has their own scale. You know, it's easy to shop around because all of these MSOs that are coming here to open up,
Yeah.
they have doctors on the squad or that they're
Yeah.
affiliated with,
Yeah,
that
man.
they have the resources.
Child, somebody hit me with a number, and I was like, "Am I about to pay $400 for something that I know I can? It's only low THC oil. Am I about to do this?"
I thought it was like 150.
It varies. Yeah, right. It varies, but shout out to Rudy. Rudy actually put me on with a website because I got to get a card eventually for the new promotion I'm working with. And I was looking at the prices. I'm like, "Are y'all serious? I thought this was like $25."
Bruh, I did think it was like a $40, $45 job. Like, let me go get my
I feel like this
medicine.
getting a medical card is a whole new industry. I feel like people have carved out. It's almost like being a veneer tech.
But why do we need medical cards if it's if it's considered a pharmaceutical at this point? Like, why do we need to get a separate medical card for this specific pharmaceutical? We don't have to get a medical card for certain opioids and stuff like that.
Let me
You
tell
know,
you,
does that make sense?
I want to argue so much. Like, trust me, I understand. But again, we in the city, we in the beautiful city of Atlanta, and people create economies. People create economies, and I was like, that's a lot of money. So I'll definitely be out there trying to get signed up through Dr. Yolanda. Yeah, shout out to him. Get the paperwork ready.
Please, yeah, she does some good work over there at the academy. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud of what she's been doing, and she's a veteran, so she advocates for veterans a lot. So
Yeah, she does a lot actually. I think she'd be in pageants too. Like I don't know when her and her husband are amazing. I don't know when she gets the time.
I don't know where she gets the energy. I just told y'all I sleep 10 hours a day, I guess.
So last year's event was good. Like I said, I had a chance to go, and it was very much a vibrant scene. But I'm pretty sure you learned some lessons from what you did last year that you're going to be able to take over to this year to make this year's even better. What were some of the lessons you feel like you learned from putting on the event last year?
Really just making sure the attendees have a seamless experience. I was blessed to get great feedback from all my vendors because coming from being a vendor myself, I used to make edibles at the pop-ups and come with my table and everything like that. And so I get it and I understand how much these people put into this and how much pride they take in their products. So my goal is always for any of my participants to have a good ROI when they leave my event. They feel like they also left with something, not just the attendees. But I also just want the attendees to have a chance. Again, that's why I added the extra workshops because I felt like there needed to be more things for them to do, like besides just the puff and paint. So that's one of the things that I kind of took into consideration and why I added 2 extra workshops. And we also do a cooking demo, by the way. Shout out to Chef JD Bird. And then like just in the registration process, making sure that when they get there, it's a lot of team kind of internal leadership skills that's mostly needed because I can't do everything by myself.
Yeah.
So now I know exactly how to communicate what I need from the people who are there to help me. And I feel like, if anything, that would be the biggest takeaway to just improve the overall event production process.
Yeah. Shout out to JD too, man. JD's amazing.
I'm telling you, she the best vegan chef to me. I stand her so much all the time.
Absolutely.
Like,
She came up here and chefed up a meal one time that Joe and Kalia got a chance to film. Remember that time JD came up here? Bro, she chefed up a meal for us, man.
I feel like I was here.
Was you here? You was here
for
that
the
day.
for the cooking show.
Yeah, you was here that day.
I do remember that. Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, man. She
did my meal prep for me for a couple weeks. Like,
oh, so you full vegan now, huh?
I'm not a full vegan. I just don't eat dairy.
Oh.
Look, we're not gonna get into my whole
Hey,
diet.
I ain't gonna look. I ain't gonna knock you.
I'm getting up there. I can start naming ways that I have to change in my diet to take care of my body.
You know what, jokingly, I know I told you earlier that there's somebody who actually stole a whole life story from me. I was about to give you a story. Like at one point when I was in college, I used to play basketball, and I had told somebody I was gonna go vegan, and my idea of going vegan was just eating cheese pizza and drinking water. And my man was like, "So you just gonna go grease and water, huh?" And I was like,
"What?"
Exactly. You could tell I was high.
But no, my daughter is trying to do that too, and I had to tell her, I was like, "You just can't buy Gardein fried chicken sandwiches. Like, that's not doing you any justice,
It's
bruh.
a lifestyle, man. Like you gotta. It's one you gotta wean yourself into, but it's definitely a lifestyle. And I wasn't doing my lifestyle right at all because cheese pizza and water wasn't it. Man.
Well, I'm okay without cheese, red meat, I'm good without it. Just me and chicken have a very toxic relationship.
I feel you. I got chicken wings in the house right
I
now.
want to eat some. Just saying the word chicken.
Look,
I
I know
want
my
some
wife's
chicken.
watching, but whenever she's not home, I eat terrible, and I got some chicken wings waiting for me at the crib when I get home.
Should be a damn shame.
But
But anyway,
yeah.
but circling back.
Exactly.
But that's one. But then even still talking about food, like the vendors that I have coming out, like I take a lot of pride in the type of vendors I have there also. So the food vendors that we have coming out, one of the crowd favorites from Cannabis, South End Smokehouse.
That's
They're
like barbecue.
yes.
Okay.
And I don't eat. I'm telling you, I don't eat pork and stuff, but I will eat me a little brisket every now and then if it's cooked right, and they cook it perfectly. So they're gonna be there with their big old barbecue truck. Then we have Queen and Slim. They're gonna be there also.
Oh, Queen. You, the hibachi.
The hibachi is
50th floor eating hibachi?
another crowd favorite. You can't deny it. So
Nah.
when people love it, I'm gonna invite you to come back every time. You're gonna get the first space.
Yeah, I might come.
The early bird.
I might come for the hibachi. Be honest with you, I didn't know Queen was gonna be there.
But we got a host of other vendors that are going to be there with edibles, other food treats, and then of course we have our very own Omari Anderson of Best Dirty Lemonade.
Yeah, man.
Best Dirty Lemonade is going to be our bar sponsor. So all of my VIP ticket holders, we have a very, very special gift for you when you get to the festival. So I'm very excited to have him manning the bar because his bars are fun
Yeah.
and they get the job done.
O's a fun dude. You know, shout out to O. O's somebody who, you know, we've been able to see O since before he had the packaging. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely elevated up.
Admire his works.
But now I see O, and he say the same joke. I see O out of town more than I see him in Atlanta now.
That's real.
He's moving around so much. You know, he actually has the brand in stores in Massachusetts now. So it's dope to see that.
And they got THC up
Yes,
there.
they do.
So that's something to be said. And right now we're actually doing like a promotion. So he's giving away tickets to the festival. So he's really a big part of the production of this festival too.
Hey, if you go into the festival, you around Amari's booth, make sure you get one of those culotta shots. But watch yourself, because they're going to hit. Them culotta shots hit.
Man, you got to be a real one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love them.
You know, I've been watching you for a while, and I know that you do a lot of traveling, especially now to some of these conferences. You get a chance to kind of go to, what is it, NABs and Champs, and you.
I love them. Yeah.
What have you taken away from going to some of those conferences when it comes to marketing the event that you're doing now? Like, what kind of takeaways have you brought from those events to where you at now for this event?
Well, one thing I can say just to start off, going to these events is marketing for the event in a way, for my event. Because I never leave a conference or a cannabis event, whether it's a legacy or a more corporate type event, without some type of connection that adds to whatever event that I have coming up, whether it's Cannabis, Elevated, a client event, whatever. So that's the number one thing. I don't know how I got so good at networking, but it's just something I do it scared, I feel like, because I'm always nervous and I'm always overthinking, but I just go in and crack a joke and present what I do, you know, and people are usually receptive to it. So that's the number one thing I love about these events. But I'm also in there, you know, trying to peep, you know, trying to see how they got things, how things flowed, how registration goes, and just the logistics of it. I'm talking to the people back there in the back that set everything up, and you know, finding out about that type of stuff. I'm there when they're breaking down and like connecting with those people to see, okay, what company do you use for like flooring or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even if I'm all the way in Vegas, just to again, you know, I feel like a lot of us are coming into business just kind of cold. Like whether I didn't have parents that were entrepreneurs. My parents were 9-to-5 workers. Like I didn't have anybody to mentor me or teach me, especially in cannabis, you know, what to do. So I really just try to play it by ear, and I feel like putting myself out there, that's the only way I'm gonna learn, because I'm in a perpetual state of learning anyway. I feel like that's the only way we're gonna get better, if we admit that we need to know more, if there's more to know. Yeah. But meeting those people, it's just always taking me, you know, is taking my events to another level. And I always leave with a sponsor.
Hey, you also roll dolo like Method Man and Belly. Like you used to be rolling dolo from state to state.
Hey, it's the easiest. I don't think you can go to a conference as a team unless you're on the same team.
Yeah.
I can't go to a conference with you and we like how we hang out or whatever. I can't hang out with you at a conference because if we walk up to somebody or we walk up to a booth or something, we both gonna be talking about two different things. You know what I'm saying? We both have two different interests. So I prefer to go to conferences by myself. I always know half the people there. And when it's time to chill and connect and, pass one around, we can do that. But I'm there for a goal because traveling is ghetto and tiring. And I be missing my kids. And I want to accomplish whatever I'm there for. Like, people be like, you always out of town. I'm like, it's not a vacation.
Yeah.
It's not a vacation.
Yeah, you gotta be, cause seriously, you be working. I be seeing you, and it's dope, especially when I bump into you places. Like I bumped into you in Vegas for MJ Biz. I was so shocked to see you. But I was like, why am I shocked? Why am I shocked? Like she's everywhere.
Man, that was my first one though. It was so cool. Like that was an experience. It was worth it. It was worth every penny.
Yeah, it's a big.
I can say that.
It's a big event. I've actually gone now about last 6 years, honestly, man.
Yeah.
And I look forward to going. This is MJ Biz is one of them events where I know I can't go by myself no more. I need a team. Like when I going with her, been down there with my boy E. I want to take Joe with me next time. I want to take the whole crew with us. Yeah, man. That's the mob out, man.
And like, that's really where it's at.
But you're right. You got to be all on the same page because we was all there for the exact same reason. You know what I'm saying? Filming.
If y'all there as a CashColorCannabis team,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's different. And I kind of feel like I need to start counting my coins and figure out how I can bring somebody that can just film content. Because a lot of times I just...
This man.
Look, you can't work for both of us at the same event.
What? You know how many people try to hire him? Dirty's been trying to hire him for forever, and I don't know how it ain't happened yet.
Now, folks, right now, I'd expand the team.
Well, he takes his job seriously. I like professionalism.
Gotcha.
He do.
Kalia dope. You know Kalia dope.
Kalia dope. Joe will miss a flight though.
Yeah, what you
Hey, I'm a flight.
I gotta be honest. Joe might miss a flight.
I'll catch that Greyhound.
I would miss the hell out of a flight, cause like, why y'all didn't wait on me? And y'all saw the TSA wait time.
Why me and my wife was in Jamaica and we saw this girl miss her flight and I guess they was on a group trip. Why is she in the terminal calling her homegirls like, yo, tell the pilot to stop the plane?
You a lie.
I wish we was like,
Was
girl,
she playing?
No, she wasn't playing. She's like, yo, tell the pilot stop the plane. I'm looking like, girl, I know you don't understand the logistics of how this about to work.
I missed my flight out of Jamaica, right?
Ooh.
And it was so crazy. I always thought I was a well-traveled. I'm not like a typical American. And I'm like, okay, when's the next flight? And they were like,
tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean? It should be we used to, if I go to ATL airport,
yeah,
I can get, it's so many flights to the same place on many
True.
I've never been stuck somewhere. So I empathize with that girl.
Were you in the grill? Like, where was you flying out of?
I was actually staying up in Port Antonio.
Okay.
It's a nice little villa resort up there, and it was on the heels of a carnival trip actually. So I was out there carnivaling.
The grill airport is something else because the minute you walk outside, it's like if you ever went to New York and been to Port Authority, it's like walking in the Port Authority because the minute you walk outside, everybody's trying to sell you something.
For real?
Like immediately. Like the second you walk outside.
Coconut.
Let me tell you something. I pulled a light out of my pocket and dudes ran up on me. What you got? Ganja. What you want to look at? I ran up on me.
Oh no, they be trying to sell you mid though when you out of the country. But I met this old dude in this hot spring. That sounds sketchy the way I said it. But my travel guide took me to like this hot spring, and it was like these old dudes that was chilling there with some other people there too. And like I told him, I was like, look, stop playing with me, patois or not. Where is the gas, bruh? And he didn't even sell me no gas. He rolled me up a little J. Like, it was like probably enough. It was just enough to get you high, like a one high. Can I buy one high, please?
Honestly,
like that's what that was.
No, I honestly feel like in America we kind of spoiled at this point and I don't know if it's even in a good way because I don't think all the weed in Jamaica is bad. I just think that what we're used to smoking here is just different at this point from how you grow it to everything. It's just a lot different because I remember going to Orange Hill when I was in Jamaica and the shit they was growing up out the ground, that shit was hitting.
For
But I
real?
know if you brought it back here, they'd be like, nah, I ain't smoking that shit. And I thought from then, the way they grow here, it's almost like how chicken tastes different down there. The way stuff is here is different than what we hear. And I feel like, again, you talk about what you put into the shit that makes it different.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they just try to take advantage of the tourists.
Oh, they definitely
That happened
do
to
that.
me in the Bahamas. I feel like they just took advantage of me and sold me whatever.
They definitely do that. Yeah,
But that's just me being salty. So
don't go on the beach because they definitely trying to sell you
I love
everything.
these countries. Please visit them and support their economy.
Please don't have me go down there and run into problems.
Right, don't beat my ass.
So I know you be running around. Hey, my boy. Hey, I know you be running around, man. Now going from city to city with stuff. Talk to us about bringing Elevated Food and Wine Fest to another city.
I was so proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I usually don't give myself enough grace or credit, but when shout out to Cultivate Peace out there in New Jersey. Donna called me and she just really wanted to bring that experience, along with her business to that market. And so it was an experience because I take the cannabis laws very, very seriously. And so I'm very comfortable in Atlanta. Like I live in Gwinnett County, but I do everything in the city of Atlanta because I know the officers. Like I just know the vibe. So going somewhere else, I had to do like research. Really, and fortunately, we were the union out there, UFCW union. They represent cannabis dispensary workers, and they were one of the partners, and we did it at their actual venue. And so they helped to kind of liaison just any questions I had, where it came to what we were doing, having vendors there, just making sure everything, because I'm responsible for the event, so I'm responsible for the attendees, participants, vendors, and I want to make sure I do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. So what are the other cities you plan on going to?
I really want to go to Florida. I've been invited to Texas, Houston to be exact. So I'm going to see. I haven't been to Texas.
In your life?
I've been to Dallas a long time ago for the NBA All-Star game. It was a lot of snow. That's all I remember.
Oh, I just missed you then.
For real?
Yeah, because I was down there. I was supposed to do something for Slam Magazine, and the snow, it hit me. And I had a, matter of fact, this is the last time I flew standby in my life. I had a ticket leaving Charlotte, North Carolina, and the snow messed that whole play up, man.
But Houston is popping though.
Yeah.
Houston like another Atlanta when it comes to the cannabis market, like especially the underground cannabis market.
Yeah.
And so
Don't tell Houston that though. Houston take that to offense. Houston is Houston.
Well, I said another Atlanta because they aspire to get to the level that we've gotten as far as the access to the people here. So it's like Lil Bruh, Shout out to the Lil Bruh Houston.
One more time, we're not
H-Town.
disrespecting Houston because I love going to Houston. My wife from Houston, I love H-Town.
Shout out Slapwoods.
Matter of fact, you get a chance in Houston, go to Breakfast Club. That's the place to go for a good brunch.
But yeah, so Houston is another one, and actually, Keedy Weedy with the United Empowerment Party.
Yeah.
Me and her, we've connected for a while now, and we've been talking. A lot of us talk a lot, and sometimes it just takes to the right time, and like we can't do everything at once.
Yeah.
And it seems like we might be getting closer to putting together like a Northeast tour on the heels of me doing the New Jersey event. So she wants to do something like in New York, and it'll be my first time going to like upstate New York. I've never seen that.
You talking about Syracuse, Albany? Like
Yeah, I want to see like the burbs in New York. Like everything can't smell like pee. New York City stinks. It's a great city.
It's an acquired
Am
smell.
I insulting people on this show?
It's an acquired smell.
I'm talking about like 4 different demographics of people.
No,
I
'cause
feel
I
like
feel
I'm
you-
finna get canceled.
Because again, if you get off at Port Authority, you understand what she just said.
Well, it's rats and peas. So that's just a fact.
Well, Cameron ran himself about in New York about the rats. Now he said, "I'm tired of these
It's
rats."
horrible. Like they just be on the street. I'm so you dress different in New York just because of all. And I like all the walking. That's cool. Keeps me from getting fat, I guess. But I digress. Go up to New York and kind of work our way down Philly. Shout out to the
You gotta go to Boston.
Boston. I've
Man.
never been to Boston.
Girl, let me plug you into the hometown. Yeah,
I'm scared
man,
of
you gotta go to
Boston.
Don't be scared of Boston. We friendly. Take it to
Okay.
Roxbury or Dorchester, man. It's
Shout out
definitely
to
a
the
vibe.
Celtics.
Oh, take it to Mattapan. My girl Drudy. I'm pretty sure Drudy's. We ain't gonna do this today. Not after they just won a
Not in
championship.
his house.
Not in my house.
Rudy's got the Lakers shit on it.
Shout out to my girl Drew, man. I think Zeb Boutique might be open around
Almost
that time.
doesn't count.
But yeah, if you come to Boston, I definitely can plug you in. There's definitely a lot of people.
I would love that. And kind of work my way down. I got family in Maryland, Pennsylvania,
I was
so
gonna say you might as well do Philly at the same time. Now we talking. I'm like,
I love
let me
Philly.
let me help you design this tour route.
Let's do a Cash Color Cannabis for Venti Marketing
I'm-
tour collab.
Child, I'm with it, man. Let's go somewhere.
United Empowerment Party, you know what I'm saying? We get all them up in there.
I love
Because you
it.
know we got to do some, they got to leave with some takeaways.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it.
So that's just another part of the festival. So Kitty's actually going to be down here for the festival. She's going to be bringing all that. We have 3 different advocacy partners. So we got the Georgia Medical Cannabis Society.
Hey.
Shout out to Yolanda
Yeah,
and them.
man.
We have again Dr. Yolanda. Those are 2 different Yolandas with the medical card. We got UEP coming out there. Coach Harris and his daughter, they're going to be coming out there. You know, he's a part of M4MM. So I try to just get all these people together. Chris Brown of Care for Georgia, he's going to be coming out there dropping some gems. And you know, there's some powerhouses in the Capitol down here. So I'm excited to have everybody. We even going to have Mr. Michael over there. He's going to be dropping gems. He has a book actually coming out. And
Hey.
so he's going to be giving us,
Whoa.
he going to be giving us some insight.
Whoa.
And so I'm excited to add even more speakers. And I feel like I've been around these people and I know how engaging they can be. Me and Mike actually had a live last year leading up to, well, not last year, but when I had the shop leading up to our 1-year anniversary. And so we kind of touched on a couple of topics when it comes to cannabis and mental health, but he's a big vehicle in the community. So shout out to Cannabis Media Collective.
Yeah, man. Well, shout out to yourself. You're doing big things. And I want you to let people know before we get out of here how they can get a ticket if they want to come through and kick it at Elevated Food and Wine Fest July 6th.
Well, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Elevated Food and Wine Fest, just FEST. All of our updates and everything will be on there. Or you can go get your tickets at www. I said that because I'm old. I'm a millennial. ElevatedFoodAndWineFestival.com.
I don't even know what generation I am anymore. I just say I'm alive.
I know they don't
Yeah,
say.
like,
I know they don't say www.
I don't know. At this point, at this point, www. means something totally different.
Go
easily.
to the World Wide Web.
Yeah, right. Oh man, we.
But I appreciate you for having me on again, Mecca. It's
Yeah.
always a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you for being you because you putting together a dope event. And like I say, I love going to dope curated events. And you know some personals about me. I'm definitely happy to be back outside again. I'm fighting a lot of shit, but they getting beat up.
Man, look, I don't hang around no weak ass bitches.
I
so
know, right?
I don't expect nothing but greatness from you. It's just whatever it is, it's gonna make you tougher when you come out on the other end.
Factuals, man. I take those words and I own those words, man.
Period.
Jess, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you for coming and gracing the studio today. That's Cash Color Campus, high level of conversation. Like I said, this episode is sponsored by Truly. We out.
Only millennials do this too. Peace.